Welcome, everybody. My name is Nick Kirchi. I'm the president of the Mortgage Calculator. We are a non-delegated correspondent lender that operates a little bit differently. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. We can go over what makes us special and different. Once I go through a little bit of talking points, we'll pass it over to Kyle Hershey, our COO. He'll actually show some of the back end of how the software and some of the stuff we've built works. And then we'll close it out with Jose Gonzalez, our sales manager with 28 years of experience to bring it all together in a traditional sense. So let me start by sharing my screen, and hopefully most of you have checked out this page. But if not, let me explain a little bit more about what we mean here. So we are a little bit different. We come from a marketing and technology world. So we're obviously all about unlimited free leads, and we're powering that through our proprietary software, CRM, POS, LOS, all built in together. And then, of course, we have the AI built in, which is the new craze these days. So how does this all work? I mentioned a couple times that we are non-delegated correspondent. I'll explain that in a minute. But we're all about the technology to scale your business exponentially instantly. So we want to plug into what you guys are already doing and scale up from there, not your traditional bankers. We have a system where you can plug in and generate more leads. So whether that's our leads, company leads that you tap into, or you use our platform to generate your own self-generated leads, we want to make sure you're filling your pipeline, especially in this market as we gear into hopefully some rate drops here. Now, you can use our system to plug into our leads, as we mentioned, or generate new leads, which we'll explain in a minute how we can generate leads from what you're already doing. So first, let's talk about the business model. You've heard me mention a couple times, non-delegated correspondent. So we've built this company and team, branch, whatever you want to call it, and all the different models. So started as a FDIC bank, went to broker, non-del, and we found the best position is non-delegated correspondent. And we're currently approved with over 120 lenders and investors. And we do non-delegated correspondent because it's the best of both worlds. We can do broker or correspondent, whatever is best for our borrower. Typically, that's going to be our correspondent options where we are the lender, where we have over 5,000 loan programs with our 34 correspondent investors. And that's because correspondent's always going to beat broker pricing even for the same exact programs at the same exact investors, because we're funding the loans with our own money, using our law firm to close the loans and all that great stuff and risk that comes along with it comes better pricing. Now, if there's any reason where we can't fund it with one of our better products and better terms there, we can use our 110 wholesale lenders if we need to do for a specialty loan. So what that really means is we have all the standard stuff, VA, USDA, FHA, Fannie, Freddie, non-QM, DSCR, our favorite options we do in-house. And once we go outside of the standard commercial, fix and flip, ground up construction, mixed use, CDFI, SBA, all the specialty stuff will typically broker. So whatever's best for our borrower and whatever programs are best out there, we want to make sure we have available. We also have the AI built in with Calvin AI Loan Officer Assistant. You'll see all kinds of ways Kyle will show you, but every day he's sending different emails, tips and tricks to get you through closing your loans. Now, how do we make this all happen? Again, with our technology. So we've written every line of code for what you're about to see, and it all starts with our lead generating website with the AI built in, POS built in, CRM built in, LOS built in, all of that. And again, this is software that's built for us by us. And it comes down to no matter which of our hundreds of different outlets or partners we use, one login for you, one login for your customer. So if you guys are coming from the broker world, you know that having hundreds of different logins and hundreds of different AMCs at the hundreds of different logins gets out of control. We also have our instant rate quotes where we have our 5,000 plus loan programs where we're the lender. And once we plug into those, we can automatically requote those as the rates go up and down, which there's been a lot of volatility lately. And this all comes down to prospects can flow from their basics, name, email, or phone, to pulling their own live rates, completing their own 1003, pulling their own credit, and that all getting imported into our system with the liabilities. And we do that through our API integrations. Over 50 integrations with Encompass for our basic LOS, but you don't have to log into Encompass. You can use our system. Same thing with Optimal Blue, industry standard for pricing, but you don't have to log into Optimal Blue. We have the AI built in, AMC's built in, account check built in, appraisal works built in, 5 AMCs at the click of a button, all these different options. And one of the cool features where this all comes down to, we can capture leads from website users with no form required. So even if our customers or maybe our friends, family members are browsing our website, maybe in the market and don't actually complete a form, we can still capture them and let you guys know they're in the market. You can also plug into our system to generate instant business cards and flyers and post those automatically to your social media, generate new leads every single day automatically, just plug and play. And we have our dual Oz AI. So a lot of platforms have dual Oz, which is great, but we have our AI built in where you can run that side by side and use the AI analysis to see which program is going to be best for your borrower. And again, this is all built for us. We have our development staff on hand for new feature requests. We do a pretty much a new release every week with a new feature. And next up is training and support. Through all the different business models, we've found that the training and support was definitely lacking. We want to make sure that since we're all remote based here, we still have all the trainings and support at the click of a button for you. So we have our learning center, which is a classroom. You can log in there 24/7, 365, take new courses, expand your knowledge, upgrade, all that kind of great stuff. And then we have our daily podcast style trainings, which are open to the public as well. So 5 days a week, we do our daily mortgage rates podcast. We do a weekly sales training podcast style. We do our weekly mortgage loan officer training podcast, which is 3 days per week. So all kinds of different ways to plug into trainings. And during business hours, we have our live Zoom support. So since we're all remote, we still want to get face to face. We can take over your screen. Our team can click the buttons to get you unstuck during regular business hours there. We also have our knowledge center with not only articles from us, but our partners. So thousands of articles. Just search your topic, find which of our partners or guides we have posted on that topic. We also have the AI built in for compliance. So we have all the federal and states that we're licensed in programmed to our Calvin AI to get a quick compliance answer if compliance isn't open. And the last items here are just some general items that don't fit in the other categories, but we definitely want to go over. We have the ability to close business purpose loans, our favorite loans, the SCR loans, in 44 total states. So it gives you an opportunity to expand your footprint without having to get new licenses. We have all kinds of different ways. Kyle will show you how we get leads, but it's a simple 50-50 split here, which will make it simple. And again, you can plug into our automated lead generation at scale. So plugging into the social media sharing, also setting up your own lead campaigns. Kyle will show you a little bit of that, or importing leads if you already have lead campaigns from somewhere else into our system. You can also click a button anytime and refer deals to your teammates for 75 basis points. Maybe you don't have the state license. Maybe it's a spouse or a conflict of interest. You can still earn 75 basis points working with your teammates. And since we're all remote here, we still want to meet everybody face to face. So we have our annual VIP retreat and yacht party here in Miami for all the team members. And we pay for your hotel room if you close loans with us. So great opportunity for us all to meet face to face. And we have the video replaying here if you miss anything, but let's get into the compensation plans. I do have to zoom out a tad so we can fit them on the screen. All right, so we'll start with senior loan officer. Everybody's always drawn to this, obviously. 225 basis points, that's on conventional, non-QM. That's 2.25% for those who are not familiar. And we have a simple 50-50 split. So if you take a company lead and you're on the senior loan officer plan, 112.5 basis points for company leads. That's 1.125% for those not familiar. Now, the senior loan officer plan is for experienced loan officers. Obviously, we do broker and correspondent. It is very challenging to do both. You have to have a little bit of knowledge on both to upgrade. Once you are, though, you'll get everything that everybody else does, but also you'll be receiving those referrals from your teammates. So not only leads, this is a referral, maybe a spouse, maybe a client where they don't have the state license, but it comes with not only a client, but a teammate to help you close that deal. So those are beyond just leads, those are more of referrals. Obviously, our senior loan officers have unlimited access to all the different leads Kyle will show you at the 50-50 split. And once you're a senior loan officer, you can get a 25 basis points bonus for any volume over 2 million. Again, we want to build a platform and a system for you guys to plug into. So if you have a lot of volume, no problem. You can get as much comp back as you can. And if you want to teach people how to structure loans, once you get the hang of it, you can upgrade to a team leader to earn 25 basis points on the loans that you help structure for your teammates. As I mentioned before, you must have some experience. So it says here, senior LOs must have closed a minimum of 6 loans in the last 12 months. Basically, hopefully some broker, some correspondent, and have an understanding of both channels before you can upgrade to senior loan officer. If you're just getting into it or you haven't quite closed that many loans recently, no problem. You can start as a loan officer, 150 basis points. That's on conventional non-QM. That's 1.5%. And we have company leads, 75 basis points for company leads. That's 0.75%. So while you're learning the systems, you'll still have access to everything, non-Del and brokered with 120 plus partners there. You'll have access to the website and all the stuff that comes with it. We have our AI built in, so that's obviously included for everybody. And Kyle will show you all the different leads. Very simple 50-50 split. And again, if you're just learning, maybe you don't know a loan type yet, or maybe you don't have that state license quite yet, you can click that button anytime and still earn 75 basis points working with your senior teammates. We are licensed in 23 states for primary and second homes. That means you can do 21 additional states, business purpose, DSCR. So that's how the plans work. If you're just getting back into it, or maybe just getting your license, click here to start as a loan officer. If you're already rocking and rolling, you can click here to apply as a senior loan officer and get started. But let's pass it over to Kyle, who will show a little bit of the back end of how everything works on the back end there.
Okay, so real quick, just to show you a little demo of the back end here. So this is our CRM here. And just like any other CRM, you can, obviously send your text, send your emails here, all the timeline piles up here. And you can also click this button to have our Calvin AI assistant actually send the, craft your emails and text for you, which is pretty cool. Of course, you can set reminders for yourself. You can put people on action plans, drip campaigns to automatically email them, text them over time, all that kind of good stuff that any other CRM typically does. But what really starts to set us apart here is our quoting system. So within 2 minutes, you saw I just made this quote right this second. You can just pop in some info, 6 pieces of info from the client without pulling credit, and you can send them a nice, pretty quote that looks like this, where it's going to send them an email and a text with the quote. They have their rate choices here that they can scroll over these things and see what they mean. It pulls in the Google map automatically. It pulls in the Zestimate automatically, the proposed loan info, does the automatic breakdown of the taxes, insurance, all that kind of good stuff, and the estimated fees, has you as the loan originator here, and also you can have your realtor attached to this as well. So you can actually attach your realtor so they're on the quote and they are actually, their picture is on there, and they absolutely love that. They know, not only do your realtors know when they send you a client, you can quote them within minutes, but you can actually attach them to the quote, right? Which they love that. Now, the coolest part about this is that the client can then just click start my loan application. And what happens is it actually takes them right to their borrower portal. Let me show you what that looks like here. It takes them right into their borrower portal where they can start their application. They fill out their whole 1003 right here in the system. They can upload their documents here as well. It has their loan info here. It has the milestone of where their loan is at, which obviously automatically updates as you go through the milestones on your end. So they pop right into their borrower portal there. Now, let me show you what this looks like on your end now that they have submitted an application. So this is on your backlog in here in our system. Notice this says the 1003 is 100% complete. That means this person has submitted their application. And now you can see here, you can request documents, right? Whether it's you or your processor, you can request standard documents automatically, or change the whole loan type, or request signatures automatically, whether, again, it's you or your processor. But what you can do here to point out what Nick was talking about is when you click our Encompass API after they've submitted an application, we actually pull credit instantly and automatically. So once they've submitted the application, we pull the credit, we pay for it up front. The client doesn't have to pay for it. So by the time you open up our Encompass API here, not only is the 1003 already in here, but the credit is pulled, it's already in here, the liabilities are already imported in here. So everything is here ready for you to originate the loan once they've submitted their application. Now, Nick mentioned earlier our dual AUS, the dual automated underwriting here. Notice, you can run DO and LP at the same time, right? Fannie and Freddie at the same time. And then we have our AI to actually analyze that and go through that for you and let you know what may be the best choice for your client. So even when you are then in underwriting, the actual documents for underwriting, the conditions are going to pop right here into this portal as well. So you and your processor can take care of those as well. So you see here, you're doing everything in our system from start to finish. So this is one system, one login for you all the way through the process, and one login for your client all the way through the process. So now let's talk about where these leads come from in the first place. So first and foremost, we're going to be giving you leads from our ad campaigns. As Nick said, we come from the marketing world. And so we do our own ad campaigns. And when somebody clicks on our ad and double opts in to be contacted, you are sent a text immediately so you can click the link and call them right away. So I'll show you a little just a sample here of a test account here that's got text coming in here with regular leads, business purpose DSCR leads, some DSCR leads here. So you'll see you'll be getting texts all day with leads. Those are our live leads coming in from our ad campaigns. Now, another way that we provide you leads is with our auto dialer. So we have an auto dialer, and just like any other dialer, you can call 300-400 people in a day. You can press a button to leave an automated text and email to them if they don't answer and move right on to the next call instantly. So all that kind of good stuff that any sophisticated dialer does, but we provide the leads in here. So you'll notice we have leads of thousands of leads in here, most of them opted in leads, but we also have cold call lists in there if you run out of other leads. We have realtor call lists in there so you can call realtors. So there's always leads in here for you to call every day. Not only do we give you the dialer, but we give you the actual leads in there. Now, another way to work leads in our system here is actually our ad campaigns here, where you can purchase your own ad campaign. So what we do is we just copy our campaigns that we know work, that we're giving you on a 50-50 lead split, and you can purchase them up front without a 50-50 lead split on the back end, right? So we'll give you leads all day at the 50-50 split, but if you want to increase your pipeline even more, if you want to get more leads without the 50-50 split on the back end because you paid for the campaign on the front end, this is the way to do it. Now, another way to work leads here in our system is we have our import leads tab here, where you can bring in leads in real time from anywhere you may already be purchasing leads from. Let's say you're already purchasing leads from Zillow or LendingTree or Free Rate Update or whatever it may be. You can use your webhook that we give you here, which will bring them into our system in real time. And we give you the instructions here on how to do it, so that way, when a lead comes in from, say Free Rate Update, it automatically goes into our CRM instantly and notifies you instantly, so you can call them and quote them and, do everything in our system just like any other lead. So essentially every way there is to get leads and work leads, we have that built in here into our system. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jose here. So Jose is our sales manager. He has 28 years of experience as a loan officer and a realtor. So we'll have him talk about how this kind of all comes together to close more loans. And then we will open it up to questions. So go ahead, Jose.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. So basically, yes, you heard about the great leads and technology, and how we all bring it all together is with our support, right? Especially if you're new to the industry or new to non-QM, right? We want to make sure you're not spinning your wheels with all of these leads coming at you and loan applications coming at you, and then not have how to structure your loan, how to work the processes. So I believe you heard about the Knowledge Center, which is our digitized version, or should I say digitized indexing of everything that we do here at the Mortgage Calculator: videos, articles. We have pretty much all of our processes and quoting and all that kind of good stuff in the Knowledge Center, so you can research it at your own time and availability. Very important, though, that you do that research, because you also have team leaders which will assist you with loan structuring and file disclosures. Part of our processes is that as soon as a prospect submits a loan application, you get an email, your team leader gets an email, management gets an email, and we're all jumping right on it, giving you some quick pointers on your new application so that you can start preparing for your team leader meeting, because within 24 hours, every MLO is going to need to meet with their team leader to go over that file structure, especially if it's one of our more complicated loans, like profit and loss loans, for example. You will meet with your team leader, they'll review the file with you, then you'll go compile the information on that file. And when the file is ready, you will meet with your team leader again to have your file reviewed for disclosure. Now, we do give you the opportunity to operate on two channels, one channel being non-delegated correspondent, where we are the lender, and the other channel being the wholesale channel where we are the broker. Both options need to have the file reviewed by your team leader before you go either get that brokered file disclosed or before your team leader discloses a file for you, because that's how we do it here. Team leader discloses a file. As soon as those disclosures are sent, you're right there on the Zoom meeting. You get to sign your part of the disclosures, which is usually at least the loan application, and then it gets sent to the borrowers to sign. Now, this is really important because on the non-Dell side, that's where we provide a lot of support, right? On the broker side, you will process your own file, or you have the option to also use third-party processing. And then you would have to go get those files disclosed by the lender because we're not the lender when it's a brokered file. On the non-delegated channel where we are the lender, as soon as those disclosures are signed by everybody, it goes to our intake department. Our intake department then registers the loan for you on the portal that you chose to have it submitted. And then if your file is complete with the minimum necessary documents for underwriting, we will submit it to underwriting. At that time too, once disclosure is complete and the file gets submitted, it also gets assigned to our in-house processing team, who, once that file is initially approved, they will update the file, update the CRM with the conditions, and then you and the processor will work together to get those conditions cleared. Once they are cleared and you get your clear to close, our closing department takes over, along with the fulfillment attorneys that review our packages for compliance, and the file will close. So just note again, broker channel, you have the option to self-process if you want to save your borrower some money, or you can use third-party processing. Our in-house processing on non-del, which is included on every non-delegated file, is only $495, and that's for all loan types, which is a very low processing fee and gives you full processing support. Now, I, for example, am also in a live support Zoom room every day from 2 to 6 for additional structure support to the team. We have our in-house processors that are also in the live support room for whatever questions you may have other than loan structure, because loan structure would be assistance to be provided by your team leader or by me, but not by the processors. So let me give you an idea of how this is going to help you close more loans. We have the example, one of many examples, but one that comes to mind is one of our newer MLOs. She was pretty new to non-QM. She had some limited experience in agency. And she had also full faith in herself, so she went ahead and she paid for her own leads plan, which would not require her to earn it on the lead split, but based on her full comp. And she picked up a very interesting lead, which somebody who had been denied by another lender. And he basically came to her, said, yeah, I need you to close my loan, and I also need you to use this existing appraisal that I already have, right? Transfer the appraisal. So we met, and it turns out the file got denied because they had tried to submit full doc, but there was, based on the documentation I reviewed, no way this file could have gone full doc. They probably submitted full doc because I'm sure they did not have any of the interesting alt doc options that we do at the Mortgage Calculator. So when the MLO and I sat in our structure meeting and reviewed the documentation she provided, and she did a good job of researching, bringing some guidelines, bringing all the documents that we need to review to properly vet the deal. And we realized that due to large deposits, which the borrower already mentioned that he would not be able to document as business-related deposits, there was no way it could go bank statement either, which was the MLO's initial thought since it had been denied full doc. But after further review and after reviewing guidelines, we decided that a profit and loss loan option was the best option for her, for the borrower, as long as the borrower had an accountant that could provide the necessary reports. The borrower did confirm that he had the accountant that could provide the necessary reports. So happy to say, after I think 3 additional structure meetings throughout the process, we were able to close that loan in 3 weeks and 2 days with an appraisal transfer to boot. So that was a success story for MLO. She closed that loan, which was a very nice loan at her full comp. It was a little bit over $1 million loan, $1,056,000 to be exact. And that was a nice first paycheck for her, and a great example on how these structure meetings can help you connect the dots, keep you from spinning your wheels, and close all those deals that you're able to structure at the mortgage calculator, because we're going to give you the additional support to make sure that you can do so. So that's definitely, between that and all and our knowledge center and all the stuff that we do, I can definitely tell you that the mortgage calculator is definitely levels above what you're typically going to find at other companies. And when you throw in the leads program and the technology, it should be a no-brainer. So definitely hoping to have all of you as members of the mortgage calculator soon to help you structure your deals.
All right, thank you, Jose. Now, what we'll do is we will go ahead and talk about the next steps, and then we will open it up to questions. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here again. And for those of you that are moving forward to join the team here, it's real simple. We'll put the link in the chat. It's themortgagecalculator.com/join. We'll throw that in the chat there. And you're going to sign up for the plan that's applicable. Now, again, senior loan officers, if you're an active loan officer, meaning you've closed at least 6 loans in the last 12 months, right? Then you can go ahead and come on board as a senior if you're an active loan officer closing at least 6 loans in the last 12 months. If not, maybe you're new, or maybe you're just getting back in the business, or just don't have any production lately. No problem. Come on board as a loan officer on the regular loan officer plan. Once you do have that production to show, you are eligible to upgrade to a senior loan officer. So go ahead and sign up for the plan that's applicable here. It's going to have you fill out a form, and then it's going to take you right to sign the compensation agreement. Now, don't worry, you don't have to sign it right then. It's going to email you a copy as well. So go ahead and take your time and review it. But once you do sign that initial compensation agreement, that's going to kick off all of the next steps. We're going to send you all of the next onboarding steps to follow, which include getting your documents and sponsoring your license, walking you through how to do all that kind of stuff. So first step, sign up here at themortgagecalculator.com/join for the applicable plan. Once you sign the initial agreement, that'll kick off the next steps. Now, with that being said, we'll go ahead and stop recording, and we will open it up to questions. I see there's already some questions coming.